Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of ELG TV. We are excited that you're here, and we're happy today to be talking with Dr. Garret Westlake, the Executive Director of the Da Vinci Center at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. Garret, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And we're so excited to be partnering with VCU and the Da Vinci Center for Envision Lead Grow's 7-city bus tour. So we came at you several months ago and we said, Garret, we need to be partners on this. Can you tell us why you said yes?
So it was an easy yes for us, in large part because the Da Vinci Center at VCU is the university's innovation and entrepreneurship hub for students. That being said, we are also a majority-minority center. So we are one of the few universities in the country that has a center for innovation and entrepreneurship that is actually majority women. And so for us, this was just very much in keeping with our mission in terms of who we serve as university students and how we can create even more pipelines into the community.
And it's such a perfect fit, such a perfect fit. So we're going to be there. Our team will be there the week of July 24th, 2017, and we're taking applications right now. So envisionleadgrow.org. I have to ask you about your experience with academics and entrepreneurship. And some people would say they don't go together, but I know that you would say they absolutely do. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and your take on the importance of learning about entrepreneurship early?
Sure. So I didn't realize I was an entrepreneur until much later in life. But now that I look back, I think one of the first pitches I gave was, as an undergraduate student, I didn't like any of the majors they offered in college. And I made an appointment with the provost of the university. And when she and I met, she said, "Why are we meeting?" And I said, "Well, I don't like any of the majors. I'd like to propose a new major." She said, "What makes you think you can come in here and propose your own major?" And I said, "Well, if you say yes, I get to pursue something I'm really passionate about that explores all these different interest areas and weaves them together in this really fun way. And if you say no, I'll pick a major." And they put together a panel of faculty from across all the disciplines, and I had to pitch them on this major that ended up becoming a formalized degree program at the college where I attended. And so that was my first sort of, you have nothing to lose as an entrepreneur an innovation doesn't happen without breaking the rules.
Right.
And so that idea that education isn't something that's done to you, right? So I think there's a big difference here too between learning and school. So I'm not a big fan of school. So school is where you sit in a row and you regurgitate information. Learning is this really rich, immersive experience. And I think that's what entrepreneurship is. Mm-hmm. To be a successful entrepreneur, you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to experience all these things. And that's where I think the best forms of education really mirror entrepreneurship, because they're interactive, they're applied, they're messy, you fail, you get up again. Yeah. And I think that that's where the real beauty lies.
Yeah, I love that you asked. I mean, like, you might have been scared, you might have been shaking in your boots, but right. You're like, well, I'll be an English major otherwise. If right. not, I could do something awesome. What a great lesson to someone who may be watching this and thinking, that something doesn't feel right. It's not fitting me right now. What do I do? So your what do I do is, well, find a solution.
Right. And even if it doesn't exist, right? I mean, that's what's so powerful about so many entrepreneurs. They go into a space that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. They say, why doesn't this exist? I want this. This is a pain point for me. Let's create something new. I mean, that's how all these great innovations got started.
Absolutely. You're so passionate also about helping people with disabilities, finding solutions and finding something new. Can you talk about what that's like when the light in their eyes, right? When you see for them the possibility and then they see it for themselves. What is that like?
So I had the great privilege to teach a class for university students with Asperger's, and it was an entrepreneurship class. And I'll never forget that one of my students came to me about midway through the semester and said, "Dr. Westlake, you'll never believe what happened. I went to this party." And so for a student, again, with Asperger's, it's going to a party was a very stressful, it was a very highly social situation. And he said, "I used to think of myself as a weird guy with Asperger's." And he says, "Now I think of myself as an entrepreneur." And
that's so good.
He said, going to a party, thinking of myself as an entrepreneur, I can be eccentric and talk a lot about the things I'm really passionate about. And people expect that from me because I'm an entrepreneur. And if I was just a weird kid with Asperger's, they would think I was just a weird kid with Asperger's. Right. And so he was the same person. He was talking about the same things. We just helped him bring an entrepreneurial construct to what he was passionate about. Yeah. And he turned it into a business. And he was pursuing something he was passionate about from a business perspective, and that made him an entrepreneur. And society's tolerance level, frankly, for entrepreneurs is much greater, unfortunately, than it is for someone with Asperger's. And so that identity piece in entrepreneurship was really powerful, and I got to see that firsthand.
So cool. So cool. So the girls in this camp are in middle school. What some may say is too young. What do you think of that? Too young? Is it?
No. I mean, I really think you have to start this process of asking questions, learning about yourself, who you are. I think all of those are building blocks to the point where as you gain more tools and more experience, you're actually able to deliver the solution yourself. But the first part is being able to ask good questions and being able to see the gaps. And that's where I think we can help children of any age. I mean, frankly, we're the ones in education too often who take the questions away from students. We are the ones imposing questions on them instead of listening to them and saying, what do you see in the world around you? I have a 4-year-old. He's constantly telling me things that I should be paying attention to that he sees as he tries to make sense of the world. And I think the longer that we can nurture that in students and bring that out of them and then empower them with the skills they need to act on those solutions, the better.
That's phenomenal. What can girls know about a week at the Da Vinci Center, the week of July 24th? What can they expect when they're in Richmond on your campus?
Sure. So we think this is a pretty unique place. We're one of the few urban research universities in the country that's committed to diversity as well as success of our students. And so just being on our campus, you'll see a highly diverse student population of really outstanding innovators and entrepreneurs who are not only pursuing their academic passions, but they're really, we have a slogan at VCU and it's called Make It Real. And I almost wish that wasn't the university slogan, because all around me every day I see students making it real. And they're bringing things to life. And I think the students here on campus will get to experience that with us.
Very, very cool. So you have to apply in order to experience that. Go to envisionleadgrow.org. Richmond's ELG experience will be the week of July 24th through the 28th, 2017. Any last words, Garret?
No, we're excited to have you all. We're excited to see as many students as you can bring forward, and looking forward to the collaboration.
Yeah, we are too. Thank you for your time today, and we'll see you very, very soon. Dr. Garret Westlake at the Da Vinci Center at VCU in Richmond. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.